Otis wants out. Give me just a second. All right, come on. Oh, thank you. Want to come in? Come on, let's get some food. You hungry? Yes, not. Well, ain't nobody made it over here yet. May not anybody show up. That's okay. What am I doing? Oh, I know what I'm doing. My browser has blocked my screen. Oh. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Can you see me? Good to see you. If you get a chance, come up on. Let me invite you up. Send up a link. Love to discuss editing with you. Maybe I got a few things that might help you with the editing. At least little things that I've learned doing the editing. You may already know them. Chances are you already do. Let's see here. Oh, okay. That's all right. Hey, I'll probably be on for a little while. If you get a wild hair. Hey, if you've made it in, Charlotte, if you made it in, come on up. Well, I'm glad you made it. Come on up. I just pinned the link. Let's see here. There we go. And why is that on there? I don't know. Hey, Steel City. Good to see you, brother. One of these days I'm gonna have to get with you on that playing that game, or I might start back. Yeah, it's almost midnight here. How you doing, Greeny?
I'm doing great. How are you? Well, sort of great.
What happened to your hand?
Well, I've got something called trigger thumb.
Okay.
And I'm splinting it for a few weeks at night so that it don't hurt so bad and it'll unlock itself. It feels clicky when I bend it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty painful.
Seems like I've had that from time to time.
Yeah.
Is that like a chronic thing, or hey, Heather?
It can be. It's also got some genetic components. My dad has it too. I get it in this finger too. And it just started within the last few months. So, but they say it's an old age thing. Anybody, mostly people over 50.
Well, I've got an aunt that had to have surgery on Traveling Fools. Good to see you, brother. Had to have some surgery on her hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what the name of that was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like trigger finger. But it was, the name escapes me. Of course, I've been taking that atorvastatin, and that messes with your memory. So,
well, that atorvastatin for me messes with my muscles. It makes my muscles and my joints just ache. Oh, but really? I'm on a really high dose because I've had a heart attack, and I'm supposed to take 80 milligrams a day.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
It is, but I just take 40 because it doesn't agree with me to take 80. It's miserable.
I think I take about 10.
Probably 20. That's the normal dose.
That may be it. 20.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking 10 milligrams of one thing, 20 of another.
Mm-hmm.
I do take a low dose aspirin every day.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah.
I take a meprazole for indigestion. Funny thing is, when I start doing this low carb thing, I may save my meprazole because when I'm doing low carb for whatever reason, I never
Right.
seem to have the stomach problems. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not.
The reason I asked you what kind of camera you use, I'm trying to figure out. I use my phone 90% of the time. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm using my Chromebook, but that's the
Yeah.
only computer I have is Chromebook. And then I use my phone here to stream with. Well, I bought this fancy new, I call it fancy. It's not really that fancy, but it's a wireless mic from Boya.
Hmm.
And then you plug this in to the end of your phone and it's the receiver. Well, it dawned on me that I can't hear if I have guests up, I can't hear what they're saying because this thing is in the bottom of the phone using up the
Microphone.
it basically mutes it. Yeah. So I don't know if I need a headset to be able to hear what's going on in my videos or just not use this thing except for when I'm making uploadable videos. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I'm trying to get better audio and get a little bit better picture, do all the things.
Hey, what editor do you use?
I just use KineMaster.
All
And
right.
I use it either on the Chromebook or on my phone.
Alexander, what do you use for your editing? I'm curious. Devil Dog I know uses that DaVinci. I think it's DaVinci Resolve 18, something like that.
Well, I've heard that from different sources that that's probably about the best one to use for this, but I'm just not technologically advanced enough to be able to figure that out.
Okay.
KineMaster is very beginner intuitive.
Okay. Dark Lord Manette, Alexander said CapCut is on his phone. Do you do all your work on your phone, Alexander? What about you? Do you do editing
I
on
do
your phone?
a lot of it on my phone. A lot. Of course, I don't know what that's going to look like whenever my eyes get worse on my phone.
Yeah. I couldn't. I don't think I could work on the phone. It's just too small.
It is small.
The on mine. In fact, I bought the laptop that I have that I was using, last year. Up until I got this computer, and by the way, I use Logitech cameras. I've got 3 Logitech cameras right now.
So they're webcams.
Yeah, these are
webcams.
Okay.
I've got one of those back here somewhere, and I use it on my computer sometimes.
And I've got one more. Where is it?
Oh, there you are. There's another one.
Yeah, I just have to. I have to figure out where I put it. Here it is. So
I'm that way, Dark Lord. If I try to get off my phone, I feel like I'm a stranger in a strange land and don't know what I'm doing.
I need to take that camera, I think, move it up to where it's right below those other 2.
Oh, okay.
Well, I use trying to get off my phone. It's a mess. I do download a lot of stuff off of my phone onto my computer. My laptop only has like I think it's got like 8 gigabytes of RAM. Is
that not enough to run your editing program?
I use OpenShot, and it's very easy to run. It's very intuitive. But I do have to, from time to time, it would buffer all the time.
Yeah.
And right now I've got 64 gigabytes of RAM on my computer, so it's a whole lot more powerful than, and I don't get near the buffering. every now and then it'll buffer a little bit when I go to separate the audio from the video.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really the only time I have that issue.
See, Gary, I don't even know how to do that because on the phone, I'm not a real fancy editor either. I just jump cuts. Everything's a jump cut.
Well,
for the most part.
One thing I do know on my videos, on my editing, if I go through and I leave things where they are, and just wait till the very end to try and connect them all, then it tends to run a lot smoother, a lot less buffering.
I see.
But if I try to while I'm doing the editing, sometimes I have a tendency to try and if I cut out a section, I go ahead and slide everything this way to where it matches up. I tend to be a little obsessive, compulsive, and so I hate the blank spots.
Right.
And if I'd wait and just wait till I cut out the stuff I don't want, I mean, I could still do some editing after that and fine tuning with it. But if I waited until after I'd already moved everything over, wait till the end, move it over, and then just let it buffer once and then play it and do some fine tuning. Wait till I feel like I've got everything done, and then go ahead and render it. It would probably work a lot better.
It might. You ought to try that next time.
Well, you said earlier that you liked that background, so
I did. I really did. I thought it was very nice. I just Dark Lord said I liked it better. I'm like, I didn't say I liked it better. I said it was nice.
Well, it's one of the things. In fact, I'm tempted to go through and while we're just sitting here, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I could go through and do some Hey Tales to the Told in the Dark.
Hey Tales Told in the Dark. How are you?
While we're sitting here, I could go through and make up a little video like that. And
put it on a loop.
Yeah, I mean, I could put it on a loop.
Why not?
What I'll do is I'll just go through and share my screen. And while we're just sitting here, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
It ain't no big deal. I mean, it's, well, let me go up, start a new window, put Google on there. And then, let's see. Oh, I still got that comment on there. Hey, Lynn the Okie.
Hey, Lynn.
I like to go over, and I get your opinion on some of this stuff too. Since I have you up here, let's see, Pixabay. I get a lot of stuff from Pixabay. And what do we want? A beach scene, a forest scene. How about just rain? Let's see if we can find another rain.
Yeah.
And I wonder what that'll sound like. Oh, I need to get a video. This is still.
Oh, those are just stills.
Yeah. So I'll just go down here and pick up the video and find something with some rain. That could be interesting.
That's going to be more than a little rain, I think.
Well, let me see what. I don't hear any.
I don't hear it either.
Audio with it. And that's one thing I don't not crazy about with I wonder if you could get audio on a waterfall.
I don't know. I've never done a video like this before where you put things to, noise videos.
Yeah. This could be interesting.
That's pretty.
It is.
Of course, I'm a nature girl.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go out tomorrow and start cleaning up my dead summer garden. I'm probably a little bit too late, but I'm gonna put some seeds out there and see what they do.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about a fall garden, and I don't have a clue if this has any audio to it or not.
It seems like it ought to.
Hey, I tell you what, that's pretty.
Oh yeah.
Here's what we'll do.
Oh, that's beautiful.
We'll download that.
I want to live right there in the middle of that cove.
Pixabay has free downloading. I'm gonna make it high def. It's 1920 by 1080. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna download that. It'll take just a minute to download, not too long. All right. All right, so now we got a video.
All right.
Now I'm gonna open my editor. I have to carry it over from over there. And we'll go through and find that downloads. That's the one I just loaded. Let's put it in there. See if there's any audio. I don't think there is, but we'll find out in just a second. Yeah, there is.
Look at there.
Not hearing much in the way of
Not much in the way of rain. Yeah.
so here's what we'll do.
Okay.
You know that video I've got of the one I was doing the other thing on?
Yeah. Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll see if I can't find that
What, and just steal the audio from it?
and still
Or borrow.
Well, if it, yeah, we'll borrow it. I'll have to see if I can find it.
Hello, Michael McFarland.
Hey, good to see you, Michael. You're welcome to come up too if you want. He's over in the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
And
It ought to be about daylight there.
yeah, I would think so. In fact, it's probably afternoon there. I'm just guessing.
Probably is.
All right, let me see if I view extra large icons. All right.
Well, Gary, is your vacation over with?
Yeah, I've already had a week at work.
Have you?
Yeah. See if I can find.
Poppy gets so sad when he takes vacation because it makes him think he ought to go on ahead and retire.
Hang on just a second.
All right.
Nick? No, I think Nick's outside. Nick, come on. Otis, you want to come in?
Nikki must have to go to the potty or come in from the potty.
Let's see. I need to find that video, and there is another way to do it as well, and I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll show you that as well. I don't think it's in here, but we'll look for it. Well, I've got some audio here of some rain.
Okay.
I can find it. No, here it is.
Found it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Right there. Second from the bottom. Second row from the bottom.
All right. So what we'll do is, let's see.
Lynn wants to know if you're close to retirement age, Gary.
What now?
Lynn wants to know if you're close to retirement age.
I am. I'm actually about to turn 59, so I'm getting close to where, and this is in its time. So,
Okay.
I'm getting close, and I've got to do some figuring on what the best way to do what I'm doing.
Right.
The best way to retire, because there's Otis won't come in. All right, and that it's not a long video,
Right.
so I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna separate the audio a little bit. Let me let Otis.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, Otis. Otis, don't tell me. Oh, come on. Here you go.
Otis is giving him what for?
Well, he's starting to get a little arthritis in his legs.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and so I'm gonna take the video and
Mhm.
just get rid of it.
Okay. And then,
Then I'll clip a little bit off of the beginning of it, maybe.
right.
Let's see. That's at 32:04, and it runs for that's 50 seconds on that. So I got to clip off. I'll tell you what. Here's what we do. I clip off a little bit from the beginning.
And then a little bit from the end.
Yeah, because I want that thunder in there.
So you got
I
32.
have to have thunder. Yeah, I do want the thunder.
Definitely, yeah.
I'll clip off just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to slice that. Where's the slice? There it is. Keep the right side. Put it there. Put it on the end of it. I'll slice that and keep the left. All right. So now if I play this one on top of the other,
Mm-hmm.
here's what it sounds like. You can still hear the wind.
Yeah.
Maybe I should cut down the. I think I'm gonna cut down the audio on the wind. Let's see.
So you can find the wind.
I can adjust the volume on one clip or the other,
I see.
and I'm gonna drop that by 50%.
I see. I see.
Now,
So now let me ask you this. You have two audios going at the same time?
that's right.
Okay.
If I wanted to, I could just totally eliminate the audio
From the picture, from the video, and just have the bottom audio going.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. So
Oh, that's nice.
all right. So it still has the.
You
What's up,
picked
Michael?
a good one too, because that first one that you did had just a gentle rain, and that picture right there is a gentle rain. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you can hear the rain, but I think you can.
Barely, barely.
And that's okay. But all right. So
now how do you put it on a loop?
okay, I'll show you that in just a second.
Okay.
All right. That's a 32 second clip, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I need to go through and render it. So I'll go up here and I'm gonna render it. Rain at Lake. All right. I'm gonna put it on its time. And then I'm gonna go through. This is the direction where I'm downloading it to.
Okay.
I'm doing it for the web, and I'm just gonna put it high definition for you. I'm gonna export it. It's only a 30-second clip, so it shouldn't take about 9 years. I started in 2014. I'm sorry I missed that. I am getting close to retirement age, and I'm sorry I get distracted. See, here's the thing. All right, I didn't become a police officer until I was 49 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I was 49 years old, I joined the police department, and I had spent most of my time in sales. All right, I'm finished rendering it. I don't really need it, but I'll go ahead and downsize it just because that way I've still got access to it if I want to change something about it.
Right.
All right, let me move this over there. All right, here's where we're at right now.
Right.
If you go over to brand, these are overlays, these are video clips.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what I would do is I would add a video clip
Okay.
of, I go into Rain at the Lake, and I'm gonna upload that. It'll take a minute to upload because it's
Okay.
Upload's not as fast as download.
Mm.
And my internet ain't all that good either.
Right.
And so, Amy, give the girl. And in a minute, it'll be finished uploading, and I can play the clip. But then there's a little thing at the top where when I play it, I'll hit loop,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll continue to play it over and over and over again.
Oh, now that's cool. And StreamYard does that for you.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, if I wanted a really long one
Mm-hmm.
that changed things, so I click on there where it says,
Mm-hmm.
and when it just go right there. And if I let it play, it would just loop one right after the other.
Would you look at that? That is so much easier than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah.
The notice, be quiet. You've already been out. No, you can't have that. That's part of my GoPro stuff. All right. The truth is, it's not hard to do a lot of this stuff. It's just, I like my OpenShot program.
Mm-hmm.
Devil Dog. Now, my OpenShot does have a few limitations.
Mm-hmm.
That it doesn't have quite the ability that you have with say DaVinci.
Right.
I can set the volume at 10, 20, 30, but it typically goes by 10% increments. I'm assuming that you can go through and it's just like animation. I've got some control over animation, but if you wanted a fine touch to it, you might want to go to more of the DaVinci Resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is just a really basic, OpenShot's just, from what I can tell, a very basic. I can do a lot of stuff with it. I can flip the screen. I can do transitions. I can do, all sorts of things that is, like Devil Dog does.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do all the stuff. And the fact is, Devil Dog, learns his stuff a lot better than, I just do what I need when I need it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I don't know how to do something, I'm not going to bother learning it until
you absolutely need to do. Gotcha.
That's the way I am.
Me too.
I use Shortcut Editor.
Okay.
That's what it is. And you can pull the volume down and all that to make a video. Now, when I upload it to YouTube, I can make a loop
Mm-hmm.
to continuously play.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay.
I don't do night streams or use
Right.
that for my background or nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm just like basic.
I'm pretty basic too.
Keep
And
it
you know
simple.
what's crazy because I shouldn't be. I've been doing this now for about what, Gary? 3.5, 4 years?
Yeah, that's about right.
4 years. But I'm
The
just
thing
not.
is,
I like doing the video stuff. I like making videos. I like being on live streams. I do not like the behind the scenes stuff. I don't like to edit. I don't like to do all that mess.
yeah.
And if I ever were to come across something to make myself independently wealthy, I would hire somebody to do that for me.
That's what I would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these ones that have millions of subscribers, they go in and edit their video.
Mhm.
They look at it and okay, that's good.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Hey.
it's fine. Let's post it.
Dark Lord Manette, you can get, I mean, if you're using a computer, I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I just tend to
You're
blurt
taking
things.
care of your chat.
The,
Sure.
if,
I-
you know, some of these cameras, I think one of these cameras cost me like $50, you know. Now I
Yeah.
do have it hooked up to a computer, so it's a little different, you know, or use the phone, you know. I phones take pretty good videos. I've downloaded and done a lot of stuff
Oh
with
yeah.
with the phone. But I've got three, you know, web cameras here. I've got my what do you call them little box things?
The GoPro.
GoPro. And I've got
Well, and
this-
you don't have to get the GoPro brand of those cameras. You can
Right.
get an off brand from Amazon for like $30.
Yeah, I've seen it. A friend of mine got one that's actually a decent name brand,
Yeah.
and I think he paid like $35 or something like that for it.
Mhm.
But it was kind of limited in what, you know, in its frame and
Sure.
size, and you know,
Well, and they're
it's
going to
just-
be, you know.
yeah, it's going to be. And I've got this camera that I've had for a while. I just haven't used it. It's a Canon. I hadn't used it in a long time. It's a Canon PowerShot SX120 IS, I think. I think I may be able to use it, but I'd have to download some software to use it
Mhm.
on here. But it's something I could utilize and that I've already got. So
Dark Lord said he's squeezing pennies right now to get more pennies. My dad says you squeeze that nickel hard enough that the buffalo craps in your hand.
there we go. Hey, I can relate.
He said that to me the other day, and it just tickled me.
Well, here's the thing. I'm about to turn. Well, I was 49 when I started working out
Right.
at, you know, where I work.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, normally out there right now, you'd work 30 years for full retirement. If you started before 2006 or whatever, or before 2007 or 2006, something like that, then you only had to work 25 for full retirement.
Uh-huh.
However, you know, I'm not going to be able, if I did that, I'd be on
Well, you'd be
75.
working until you're 80.
Well, I don't want to work until I'm 80.
I don't want to work till I'm 80. I didn't want to work till I was 50.
Well,
You know what I mean?
the thing is, though, you know, especially with all this inflation that's hit
Exactly.
in the last few years, you know, if I think about it, I'm not, you know, I can retire on age up there, and that starts at 60 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Is, you know, they give you on our retirement plan, it's a really good retirement plan, but they only give you 2% per year that you worked. And if I did it at 60, I'd only have, you know, really 10 years effectively.
Well, and what would you do for insurance?
Well, exactly. I'd have to pay insurance, and I'd still have my regular bills to pay, and I'd have to pay, you know, you know, it's just not feasible
Right.
to retire at 60, at least not for me. If I had the years in, you know, I could do that and maybe even go find something else. Now I could go work for the police department, possibly at like St. Dominic or Baptist or one of the Merit Health, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not, you know, state funded or state, you know, so they, you know, any retirement system they have would be different. And, you know, I'd have to work probably 8 years to become vested as well.
Right.
I'll just be quiet. Anyhow, and so.
Well, and that would still invest more time into.
Well, it would, but even then, any 8-year thing ain't going to pay much.
Right.
Plus, even if I left at 60 or 62, I'm thinking 62 just because the fact, at one time I was considering working until 62 and do it because you can draw early Social Security. It's only 70%.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only 70%.
Right.
And so, all right, come here. You sit up here and be quiet.
Somebody's been messing with my stuff on my table.
All right. So
I hate
Me too. Me too.
I hate it.
I think I say every day, I say, stop touching my stuff.
I know.
I'm listening to you, Corey. I just got to get up.
Right here, you know, just leave my stuff alone.
Granny, you still able to be heard. You can still be heard. She just has her avatar on. So, now if I waited till 62, at least Social Security would kick in, but then it's only 70%. And the way our retirement works, they take an average of your highest 4 years. They combine them, divide it by 4, and that's what your retirement is based on. And you know, how many percent, you know, they look at that differently. But as far as the number they start with, that's the average of your highest 4 years. All right. So we just got a huge pay raise in 2022, beginning of July, and so I'm making more out there than I really ever have. Even when I was working 80 hours a week as a patrolman or even a trainee patrolman, whatever.
Right.
And so it behooves me to throw a $5 word out there to work at least 4 years, which means I'd have to work another, you know, almost 3 years, 2 years and 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Like that.
If you stay till you're 65, you get Medicare and you wouldn't have to worry about the insurance end of it.
Bingo. What's up, Skipper?
You bunch of kids.
How are you?
I've been retired for so damn long, and I'm busier now than I ever have.
Than you ever were?
Oh yeah, I worked many decades, actually almost half a century. So
yeah.
But Gary,
yeah,
you're gonna get the last one. I just need you to send me your address again. You got my email there.
Okay.
I come across this little piece.
Oh wow.
Oh.
That's
and it actually has the regimental prayer in the back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Let's see the front. No.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's nice.
Hey, Numis.
Yeah.
Do you mind putting it in just so I won't have to? I don't know how quickly I can look it up. If you could put it in my well, hang on. Let me see if I've got. I'm not sure how to look it up. So, and it's not coming up. It's not auto popping up. If you don't mind putting it in the private chat.
The private chat. Oh, let me see this thing. Private chat. Private chat.
Now you're exclusive.
I'm working off my phone. I hate this thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Put it in the private chat, and I'll transcribe it right now. because I can read the
Okay.
chat.
Okay, that's perfect.
So I don't like editing. I hate it. I do. I hate editing video. It's not one of my strong points, you could say. But I had to go back and listen to the tutorial and stop it, do that, and that. Yeah.
I should get it to you. Or to me. I'm getting quite the little collection over here. But man, you don't know how much I appreciate that, Skipper.
Oh, my pleasure.
You didn't send Devil Dog one yet, have you? Or,
You saw what I sent Devil Dog. He's got enough.
oh, have mercy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on to him a little bit.
He hasn't sent me a Marine one, but I never served with the Marines, so I technically I shouldn't get one.
Well, I'm not sure how all that challenge coin stuff works. I think
Oh
I've got.
my goodness gracious!
I know that there's a story behind it.
All right. Let me try to clarify things, and you got to understand the modern legend of the challenge coin goes back to World War I, when a pilot was shot down, and he happened to have been presented a coin that had his unit's name on it, and he had no idea when he was captured, and they were going to apparently execute him or put him in with a group that was not related to the U.S. military, and because he had that coin, it proved who he was, and he actually was put in with the right group, and he survived the war. After that, they started giving out challenge coins. This is the modern legend. They can actually date challenge coins all the way back to the Roman times, but the modern thing is, you are presented a challenge coin if you have served with or for a certain unit. So if, for instance, I had the privilege of training with the U.S. Rangers School in Fort Benning, Georgia, back before it was changed to Fort Monroe now, or Fort Moore? So I can actually have a U.S. Ranger School coin if I wanted one. I tried to get a hold of one of these things. I also served with the 3rd Battalion, 7th Infantry, the Cotton Balers. I have their challenge coin. I have a coin from every regiment I've served with, every United Nations peacekeeping mission I've gone on, every city and posting, and it gets to be quite, depending on how much you boot around in the service. You can get an awful lot of these things. I probably have 40 or 50 of them.
Wow.
When you're sitting in a mess, a drinking establishment, for those that don't understand what a junior ranks, whatever. If you're sitting with a group of guys and you're bragging about belonging to or having served with a unit, and if someone slaps their challenge coin down on the table and you cannot present yours, you have to buy the entire place around.
Oh my goodness.
So it can be very, very expensive. However, if the challenge is met, then it's reversed, and he has to buy you the drinks.
Awesome.
There we go.
So that's basically where the whole idea of challenge coins give. And whenever I meet a soldier or someone who served with or was attached to, you've been doing a lot of good work in the community, and you've dealt with me and Eddie and a few of the others that are veterans. If we were physically there, I would put the coin in my hand, and I'd shake your hand, and I would leave the coin in your hand. That's how the normal presentation of a challenge coin happens. But because we're long distance and you're down in the US of A, I will mail yours out.
You have to do an imaginary handshake.
That's right.
Through the mail.
So, are you clear now?
I am. Thank you very much, Skipper. In fact, I'm probably going to clip that and use it in a video. Not to worry, I'm going to give you credit on it. Although I'll probably put, Santa on there too, and the Numis Maniac, and the we'll do it upright.
Yeah.
Oh.
My Santa gig's coming up pretty quick here.
Yes, it is.
We're gearing up for it. I have a brand new uniform coming in from Roanoke, Virginia.
All right.
So amazing that I end up with a Santa suit from Roanoke. And you know what the greatest pride is? Sitting there with all those little children coming up to see me at the North America's largest shopping mall, and they're seeing Santa, not knowing that Santa served. There's an old infant here sitting in that chair.
Oh my.
Which is okay by me.
But as far as our retirement, I'm still thinking on retirement. If I work till I'm 65, then I at least have Medicare and Medicaid.
Right.
And if I left and retired any time between now and then, I wouldn't make as much, because I'd have to work somewhere. Otis,
Cover your insurance costs.
Yeah.
he keeps his mouth. He doesn't bark when I'm not talking. But then as soon as I start talking, he starts barking.
Well, maybe he's agreeing with you.
You're making me miss my dog.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. The
Agreeing with you, yeah.
I just figured
Exactly
65,
right.
65 probably. Oh,
Well, the whole thing, Gary, once you retire, and having been retired now for 9 years, you find ways of bringing in a few extra dollars to kind of offset your pension, because you do take a dip, even though if you've been smart enough to do your RSPs or whatever you call them down the States, and or you have a pension plan and whatnot. You take at least a 25% drop in income. It's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to adjust to it, and especially when it comes to medical coverage.
My goodness.
My Lord, if I didn't have the extra coverage, and fortunately we have socialized medicine up here in Canada.
Yeah.
The seniors medical sucks. It doesn't cover anything.
That is.
If you need dentures, no, they'll clean your teeth, but they won't give you any teeth to friggin' chew your food with.
Right.
Yeah, it's something that you have to think about. Are all your bills? Do you own your own home? If your home's paid for, great. If it's not, let's see. I bought my house. I actually had it built 20 years ago. My house will be mine when I turn 97.
Oh boy.
So what am I going to do?
Live.
I'm going to have to downsize. I've already talked it over with Mrs. C, and I says, yeah, we're going to have to downsize, kick the elves out into the shed, and get ourselves a smaller place. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Cutting down on expenses is just part of the deal. The only other option is inviting my kids back who are struggling because of the economy these days.
Right.
But the thought of having my kids back in the house.
I hear you, Skipper.
We don't have room.
What about moving back to North Pole?
That's not a problem. But you know what? You can only have, especially when you get a little bit older, that cold really just seeps right into your bones. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And a Quincy only comes with one Arctic candle to keep you warm. It only brings it up to about 15 degrees Celsius. For you guys down there, it's not very warm.
No, it's not.
Oh,
I'm sweating, so it doesn't matter to me.
Oh, it's been what would it be in Fahrenheit here? Probably about 45 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit here in the last couple days.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. There's no bugs.
Yeah.
It's nice out.
It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit right now here in the Philippines.
Ooh.
Well, we had a 90-degree day today, but tonight it's supposed to be 67 Fahrenheit, and I think that's just suits me right down to the ground.
Yeah. Well,
I think I like it. I like it about 50 Fahrenheit is probably my favorite temp.
Yeah.
well, this has rapidly turned into a almost like a gerontology subject.
So,
Yeah.
Gerontology. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, none of us know spring chicken. So, talk about retirement and
that's what me and Poppy are doing right now, Gary. I was going to tell you before Skipper did that. We are trying to live on about 65 to 70% of our income right now to prepare for when the kids leave home and we can, do our own thing.
yeah,
And we'll have a house that's paid for. We've got all of our debts paid for. The only thing that I have is a one credit card, and that gets used for gas and paid off every month.
Good for you.
So,
well, my wife is having a rather hard time adjusting to that train of thought.
I'm sure it's not easy. And had it not been my idea to try this, I would have had a hard time adjusting too.
Mm-hmm.
But he let me think it was my idea, so I got on board with it.
There we go. For me, I grew up dirt poor, and the one thing that taught me back then, and I've got a story I'll tell you in a minute if you're really interested, that told me that I'm not meant to have money. By the way, did you see the message on there for you, Skipper, from Xander? Anyhow, remind me sometime. I'll tell you about the gray M&M. But I know I'm not meant to have money. For me, I've always, one thing I learned is not when I grew up that poor. It's, if you ain't got it, don't spend it.
Right.
If don't live to your means, live below it.
Below. Mm-hmm.
And because you can't ever tell when something's going to hit and an emergency happens. And you better have some kind of some sort of emergency strategy.
That's right.
Very good advice. Very good advice. I did the. I'm sure you remember this, but I'd lost my furnace and my hot water tank last year, all within a few weeks.
Man.
And my wife come up to me. She says, "We don't have the money in the bank. How are we going to pay for this?" And I looked at her and I said, "Honey, don't worry about it. It's taken care of." She says, "What do you mean?" I says, "I'll take care of it." So I went down. I stacked silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just dug into my silver stack. It made me cry.
I'm sure.
But I dug into my silver stack and I sold it and I paid cash and got it all fixed.
Yep.
And
there we go.
Looks at me, she goes, "How much do you have down there?" Well, she'll find out after I pop my clogs. But
but yeah, you got to have plans and you got to look to the future. About the only thing I do pay that I really wouldn't have to is I make it a point to whenever a car is paid off to spend money on something, put it on a thing on some kind of a loan so that it will help with my credit rating.
Mm-hmm.
Because they look at active loans, they look at how many loans you have, how many different credit sources, this type of thing. But typically, I don't have I never put them on long-term loans. They're always short-term loans, 2 or 3 years, so that when they're paid off, it's just more money that I don't. And I do now. Granted, I do tend to spend money doing some things like my hobby here, with YouTube, and this is a hobby. Make no mistake about that. But I don't really. Most of my hobbies pay for themselves.
Mhm.
This one has been a little different. When I was collecting baseball cards, I knew, I knew when the hot baseball cards were coming out, where to get them, and I could get them for about half what I could get them from, sell them to a dealer for. And so I would go through and buy them at, one price. For that, I actually, kept half of them and sold half of them. So they paid for, my other stuff. But typically, I always find a way to make whatever my current hobby is pay for itself.
Right.
Of course, that didn't work with Xbox. But that's beside the point. But I tend to live very parsimoniously. And
Mhm.
so I do, I've got what I want in my setup. I spend a few dollars getting it where I want. The only other thing I need to do is I've got one monitor I just bought. It was $90 off. Not that spending money, it was only $120, something like this, and even that it was $90 off. I don't spend money frivolously, but if I'm going to spend, I try to spend wisely.
Mhm.
The only thing I'm lacking is I need one shelf to put above this monitor so that I can, when I park stuff, and each monitor has a purpose to it. I've got 4 monitors now. And I don't know, probably I let Devil Dog kind of provoke me a little bit into getting 4 monitors, but truthfully, I've only paid for 2. That one was on sale when I bought it. That one was on sale when I bought it. That one I had, I've had since probably 2004. That one comes from my wife's work, so I may have to return that one sometime. But I don't believe in spending money frivolously.
Frivolously.
Yes.
Frivolously. That word.
Well, Poppy and I have not had a car payment since 2009.
Yeah.
We when the kids, by the time the kids leave home, and of course we don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I got one started college this year and one started high school this year. Hopefully within the next 6 years they'll be doing their own thing out of my house. And me and Poppy are going to go pay cash for a house
There we go.
because I don't want a house payment when I'm old. And Poppy has he's military disabled. And we don't know what day he's not going to be able to work anymore. We just don't know when that day is going to come. We don't know. I mean, he's 50 now. It might be 3 years from now. It might be 20 years from now.
Yeah.
After his retirement age, but we just don't know. So we're trying to prepare for that. And I think the best way to do that is to not have any kind of payments by the time that day rolls around.
Good goal.
Be debt free.
One thing I would recommend, Charlotte,
Yeah.
right now, while you're not having any car payments,
Mhm.
go ahead and set yourself up a car payment into the bank where you're
That's what we
paying.
do. That's what we do. So
It's-
that way, if something happens to one of our cars, we've got 3 of them, but if something happens to one and we need another one, we can just go buy one.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Not a lot of people think that way, though, Gary.
I know.
90% of the problem, at least in the U.S. that I'm aware of, is that people want what they want when they want it.
That's
They're
right.
not willing to save and they're not willing to plan. They just go get it. And then before you know it, they've got $200,000 worth of student debt, $60,000 worth of car debt, and $300,000 worth of house debt.
Yep.
And I'm a firm believer that debt does nothing but make you a slave to it.
Right. Because they want you to work.
You're darn right they do.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well,
I'm
yeah,
debt-
they want your tax money.
I'm debt free.
Mhm.
You know, I rent. My rent is only less than $100 a month.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You understand? And
Mhm.
electric bills about 75, but I don't have aircon either.
Oh my goodness, I haven't paid that kind of rent in over 50 years.
I'm telling you, it's a place to retire.
I have no rent.
There we go.
Well,
Okay, I can't even think about that. My gosh.
I
When I first started out, my first apartment as a young married woman, we paid $310 a month for a 2-bedroom townhouse, and it's just gone up from there.
My first apartment was furnished. It was 1 bedroom. It was $50 a month.
Wow.
wow.
Of course, I'm sure a loaf of bread was about 35 cents too.
No, if it was, we would have been outraged. That would have been a lot of money. Because I remember when back in the days when I smoked,
Mhm.
when cigarettes went to 25 cents a pack. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
A case of beer, and I'm talking a real case, Canadian case, we get 24, not 12. A
Okay.
case of beer was $5.40 for a case of beer. So that's like two American, I guess.
I don't buy beer, so I don't know how much.
Yeah, well, I
it
don't
is
drink
today.
anymore either. So it's. But I mean, when I think back, oh my goodness, my wife still smokes. Mrs. C is still a smoker.
Mhm.
And again, where I used to spend $2 for 8 packs in a carton, she now pays. Well, actually, I now pay $184 a carton.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's what it's like up here in Canada.
That is
Big
twice
expense.
what I pay. Twice
Yep.
what I pay. And Poppy hollers at me all the time. Every time he has to go to the store and get them.
Yeah, I just see it. It's like money. You're just burning it away.
That's
Just
what he
too
says
much.
too.
Yeah.
That's my one frivolous thing that I do that's going to kill me. But
It's
Yeah,
like,
I wish I could get her
it's
to
like
quit.
whenever
Oh my goodness.
I go back to Michigan, I bring back like 4 cartons of cigarettes with me.
oh, I bet. Yeah.
One time, because they're so cheap, I smoked my last cigarette, and I'm talking to the manager at my golf course, and I'm like, I just started swearing. I'm like, I'll be right back. He's like, why?
It's a hard thing to do.
I have to go to the gas station and get a pack of cigarettes. That's my last
You
cigarette.
know, you're lucky you're living in an age where we have access to the
for a
internet.
pack.
It's true.
If you were to check on the internet today and look up what it would cost you in 1971 for $100 worth of groceries in 71 will
You'd have
cost
2
you
buggies full.
$780 today.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I just thought about it. We got one fella up here from Canada, 2 people that are over in the Philippines, even though they're from the U.S., and 2 people from the United States, and both people from the United States are both in Mississippi.
Who'd have thunk?
MISSISSIPPI.
Of all the places in the world, Mississippi.
That is kind of interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Especially when I got this American flag back here. Hey, I am proud of where I come from, but I respect the fact that other places are, loved by other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there was a woman down there that invented a sippy cup. She's referred to as Mrs. Sippy.
Oh boy!
Come on up, Big Matt. And that'll round us off where we can have somebody from Texas.
Somebody from Texas.
It'll be
That's
even
right.
on the after all, at least they'll still be from the South.
Well, I'm
I'm-
originally from Florida.
I'm just saying, Jack. I know you from Michigan, or Minnesota, Michigan. One of
Mhm.
them states up north.
One of those M states.
It's Michigan, ain't it, Jack?
Yeah.
You guys in the Philippines,
Michigan.
you better take care of yourself. You're in a danger zone there. You know that, right? My cousin Paul went down there. He's my age. He's like in his 70s.
Hmm.
Marries himself a 28-year-old Filipino girl,
Oh my.
and she's got him working planting rice with an ox.
What?
I'm like, what the heck's wrong with you, Paul?
Oh man!
Yeah, man, oh man.
He needs to get himself a captain's chair and do like I do. I just tell my wife, hey, this is what I need. I need a carton of cigarettes. She's like, okay. She goes and gets them. I don't have to even get out of the captain's chair.
Oh,
Give me a case of
boy.
beer. Okay.
Oh. Hey, I'm glad y'all came up. Hey, Matt, you gonna come up?
Hey Gary, I
Big
got
Matt.
your simulcast.
Okay, cool. I don't think we'll be on much longer. I just want, but I had that other silent live stream, and Granny, Charlotte said something about the background. And now I've got this new one I guess I can use.
Yeah.
Although I'll probably use it on but I'll probably end up using that for somebody.
I think it's nice.
There we go. Big Matt. Let me hold $1.
Hey, Matt.
Give me $1.
Give me a dollar.
You want to hear something crazy?
I
Sure.
do.
I may be going back to Washington next month.
Really? What are you going to Washington for?
To go help that crazy coyote do some hunting.
Oh wow.
Go hunt coyotes.
He needs more help with carrying the bigger stuff out.
Like moose and caribou and such.
Like elk, mule deer, bear, cougar.
I couldn't do it. Bears scare the devil out of me. I'm petrified of a bear.
I mean,
It sounds like
Coyote said they're about as big as the cows they got up there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that ain't very big at all. Them cows are little bitty.
Well, I must have
I need to fire up the grill.
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, we have an issue with bison up here. Quite a bit of them. They usually break out of their paddocks.
Oh, they taste delicious.
Oh, bison burgers are great.
Oh.
But, and I love
Bison
venison. But I
tomahawk.
never tell my reindeer I enjoy that food.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well, reindeer and bison are mortal enemies, so you're okay.
It's okay. I got a freezer full of venison, so I got to keep my mouth shut.
don't
Oh,
let the reindeer hear you.
Oh, heck no.
Don't want to be
Yeah.
hurting old Vixen's feelings.
We also have a real issue with moose. I actually almost hit one today going up to my sister, coming from my sister's place.
Oh,
Those
my.
are big animals, man.
I would love to see one in person.
Yeah, okay.
Well, from a
You're
distance.
welcome.
From,
You're
from a
welcome to
distance. From a
They're big.
See, I'm only 5 feet tall, Skipper.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
So I'm sure it would be super intimidating to me to
Yeah,
see. in
but you know what?
person.
Moose meat is also very good.
Is it
Oh yeah.
moose feet?
No,
Moose
moose
meat.
meat.
Oh, meat.
Moose meat.
Oh no.
But it's very. But you gotta allow it to cure though, because you don't want it to taste what get the gamey taste.
Yeah, yeah.
You want it, tasting good.
So you just hang it for until the
About
Gaminess?
12 days.
12 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful, majestic animals, but I'm a little person. Horses scare me because they're so big.
Moose are pretty vicious, really.
I can't get on a horse anymore. I don't think I need a Clydesdale to carry me.
I'm not gonna ride one again. because
I feel you on that one, Skipper.
I got
I'm
on
the
a
same
horse.
way.
I got on a French horse.
Yeah.
I was drunk, and I'm like, I want to ride that thing. And I just jump on it, just bareback it. And my friend punches it in the face. And this thing took off like a bat out of hell. And this runs straight towards the electric fence. I'm like, oh, no. I barrel rolled out this thing. I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
Oh,
You should
my
get-
God.
Did
Did you
Yeah, I
go and whoop your friends behind? That's what I'd have done.
I couldn't because I couldn't walk.
Well,
I'd
I'd have hit him with a great big old stick in the face.
I was herding cattle up in High River, and I was pretty green at riding horses back then. I had my feet too far into the stirrups, and I hadn't cinched the saddle tight enough. The damn saddle blanket slipped out from underneath the saddle, and suddenly I found myself going hanging underneath the horse.
Oh,
Well, it took off like a bat out of hell. I was covered literally almost head to foot. Actually, my Stetson stayed clean, but I was covered in mud, bruises.
Oh, my.
I know, I'm not a cowboy. I tried it. No.
My
Doesn't
first
matter.
experience with a horse, I was in my 30s. I forget exactly how old. But we went to a church event, and the people that were putting on the event had horses, and they had them all out in the corral for everybody to ride. And I was riding this one horse, and I was having big fun, right? Horse's name was Tequila. And so it was my turn to get off the horse, and I got off the horse. Well, when I did, the horse was, I was standing here, and the horse is here. Notice how much bigger he is than me. And another horse come trotting up this way and pushed him over like this. Well, the horse stumbled and landed on my foot.
Ooh.
Well,
Ouch.
it didn't hurt at the time. I just didn't know how to get myself out from underneath this horse's hoof, right? So I grabbed his bridle, and I went behind me to grab the post to get some leverage so I could kind of pull. Well, it was wired. And so the shock went through me, hit that bridle, and that horse took off a running.
oh,
Got him off your foot.
Let me tell you what. That's the first time in my life that I've been proud of myself for not screaming curse words at the top of my lungs. Because I was with a church group, I couldn't do it. So the whole time I'm like, oh, booger, this is killing me. Booger, 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 booger. But I wanted to cuss word. I wanted to cuss so bad.
GD.
No, I didn't do that. I'm glad I
That was
did.
probably that was probably in your head.
Oh, all of it was in my head. I called that horse everything but a decent human being.
See, that's different for me though, because I'm here in Texas. I grew up with horses.
Right.
Both of my kids, before they were able to walk, were on horseback.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's cool.
My grandkids love horses. In fact, they go to horseback riding lessons every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And my grandson is 3, and he's a little bit, he can't talk very well still, but man, I'm telling you what, he loves those horses, and he can say horse.
Awesome.
And he pretends to whistle, and he's got this really high-pitched little 3-year-old voice, and he'll go, "Ooh, ooh." But it's really loud and really shrill. It's funny.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know why my wife didn't want my kids and grandkids to use a Western saddle. She insisted on them riding English,
Oh,
and
okay.
and there's no saddle horn. I mean,
I've done
what
that.
the hell?
You gotta have some hold on. Yeah.
I've ridden on one of them once before, and the first thing I said is, "There's no oh shit handle."
I know. It's like you're missing something.
Where do I hold on?
I think, hey, Moon Boots, good to see you. I keep thinking we're gonna shut down and we just
What's up?
new people.
Look here. There he is on his little, that horse's name is Romeo.
Mm.
And that little
Ooh.
smile just does my heart good.
I would
Sounds
not
like-
want to be dragged over the saddle horn. I'm sorry, that would not be comfortable.
Ooh. Ooh. I don't think anybody would like that.
But when you
No.
grow up on them, you know,
Not
and
unless you want a sex change.
you start
Right.
getting one that starts getting a little antsy underneath, and there ain't nothing to hold on to.
Right.
You're gonna be like, yeah, I wish I did have that.
You'd be on
Yeah.
the ground.
Come up.
And buck you off. You
Yeah.
know, and you fall off. Hopefully, you know how to fall.
Well, and anytime you're riding any kind of livestock, the first rule that you learn very, very fast is tuck and roll.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because if you hit the ground, that doesn't necessarily mean the animal you were on is still going this way. It could be right there on top of you.
That's right. That's right. Oh,
Up in
moon
5 hours.
5 hours. Good grief.
Yeah. Hey,
I
I'm gonna get some
I
tea
slept
real
most
quick.
of the day. I drove all the way from Wainwright into Edmonton, and I went, okay, that's it. I'm done. Went to bed, woke up at 6.
Where'd he go? Oh,
I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some tea.
okay.
Tay, you gotta have some
Wait,
Tay.
tea.
Wouldn't that be
He needs some Texas tea.
Texas tea.
Hey.
Texas, that's oil.
No. No, it's sweet tea.
Sweet tea right here.
I'll be right back.
Now,
Yeah,
I had COVID about 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't real sick. I had fever for a couple days. I lost my voice for about a week. But I'm telling you what, the worst part is it robbed me of the will to do anything. Completely drained me. I'm still recovering and trying to get it. I didn't even want to cook or clean or do nothing. And it wasn't that I didn't want to. I was just exhausted. And tomorrow I've got to go out and clean up some of my garden. I've got a garden bed to clean out, and I'm just hoping like crazy that I can get through the whole thing. I don't know. I might have to go halfway through because it's only a 3 by 8 foot bed.
Right. Is it a raised bed?
Yes, it is. Mhm.
Yeah.
I've got 5 of them out there.
Oh,
And
wow.
I love my garden.
I used to have 3 of those.
Yeah.
It was like maybe a foot high.
Uh-huh.
But
That's about how tall mine are.
No, mine is going to be like 3 foot high.
Oh, yeah. And that way you don't have to bend over.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful.
I've learned how not to plant hot peppers to other vegetables. Get some spicy tomatoes. Spicy,
Ain't nothing wrong with some spicy tomatoes.
Spicy tomatoes pretty good.
bell
That just means
peppers.
you skip a part in the salsa making. You know, there's
That's
just
right.
Yeah. I got my salsa mix right here.
All in one tomato. I did a stupid thing this year. I grew watermelons in a 4 by 10 foot bed.
And did y'all
Oh,
see
that's
what we did?
interesting.
We mentioned his name, and now he's here.
See that?
Man,
Well, the problem with growing them in that 4 by 10 foot bed is they went 20 feet in that direction and 10 feet in that direction. And I've got watermelon vines all over my yard with 3 watermelons still growing out there. And I know it's getting too cold for watermelons. So I think I'm just going to, I don't know. I don't know if I should just pull them up and put them in the compost heap or if I should try to get them ripe.
I'm trying to get it
and
right.
what's up, Coyote?
Ross?
There's one that might ripen. The other ones, they're too small. They'll never make it.
I've got to pick the hardiest vegetables I can because I have a brown thumb. And my wife's even worse. She actually kills artificial plants.
Oh my.
Oh,
She's
it's terrible.
That,
That's talent right there.
Oh, that's really like, oh boy.
My mom told my dad, I got you.
She actually watered them.
I'm gonna
Did she
plant
actually
something
water?
you can't spray with your weed killer and kill it. So she went and put a bunch of fake plants out there. And what did he do? He sprayed gas on them and said, "Watch this."
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Yep.
No. The other thing my beloved can't do, she can't cook.
God.
She's
love.
never been able to cook. Now, I was actually a baker 50 years ago. I was quite the baker, and I took cook's learner's course. My mother was also a chef de cuisine, so I was brought up in that environment. So I've always done the cooking, and that's why I've lost my waistline so adequately. Whereas the first time she ever made me something was Kraft Dinner, KD. I come in and there it was sitting for me. She didn't drain the water off before she added the cheese.
Oh God.
Oh.
Macaroni soup.
Mhm.
And you ate every bit of it too, didn't you?
And did you eat it?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, you did.
I was kind to her, though. I was kind to her, and I gave her instructions on how to make real baked mac and cheese in the oven.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have ate something my mama cooked, ooh, I'd have been wearing it.
I don't have to worry. She's not. I'm twice the man that she married.
Hey, Skipper, do you use a bechamel when you make that oven mac and cheese? The roux type thing with the butter and the flour, and then like it. Some folks would make that with like a roux and then add some milk and then the cheese comes out.
I do a
Yeah,
roux.
that's how you do it.
Essentially, yeah, but I stick to a medium cheddar with butter and milk, and then mix that together, and I mix it in with the macaroni. But I layer it, so I got layer of macaroni, and then the cheese, and another layer of macaroni and the cheese. Put her in the oven, bake her up 375. She comes out 30 minutes later. It's got a nice brown top to her, and I love the crunch. I love having that. I don't like wet macaroni. Just
Right.
when I was married, when I was like in my mid-20s,
Mm-hmm.
my wife, she cooked. The only thing she cooked was like, I don't know if it was even called cooking. It was like what is it? Nacho chips with some cheese and some what is it? Taco. No, it's a taco.
don't you knock spam.
Ground beef, and just put it in there and put it in the oven until the cheese melts and call that dinner. I'm like,
Yeah, that's fast food. That's like
that's some hood.
I was just telling Tammy the other day.
That's some hood shit.
I was just telling Tammy the other day I wanted to pick up a case of Spam.
oh, I love spam. I grew up
I
with it.
like spam, but I can't have it. It's got too much salt in it.
Yeah, it does have a lot of salt.
I don't eat salt.
I can't buy it because it gives my son migraines.
Mm.
And I learned that last year. I would make him hash browns with spam and cheese in it. And he loved it. That was his favorite breakfast. Well, it was a new thing. I was trying it out on him, right? So 3 days in a row, I had to go pick him up from school with a migraine about an hour into the day. So it finally 2 + 2 started to add up, and I figured out it was the spam causing the migraines.
Yeah.
But he can't eat hot dogs either. So,
Really?
yeah.
I lived between two farmers,
Mhm.
and these farmers constantly gave me headaches because they were arguing over their fields. All I ever heard was, "It's migraine. No, it's migraine." That headache was just terrible.
I hate it for him that he can't have what he wants sometimes, but
Yeah, there's a lot of foods I'd love to be able to eat again, but no, no
Right.
stuff.
Like onions. What happens at 50 when you can't eat onions anymore?
You might as well go on protein shakes.
I have not bought an onion in years or cooked with one because I can't eat them anymore. Just they don't agree with me.
Gives you acid reflux.
And I hate it because I love onions. I just love them.
I eat onions raw. Like,
Yeah.
I'll slice them with cucumbers and throw a
Yeah.
little
Oh,
salt
onion,
on
onion,
it.
I've done
onion's
that.
a miracle food for cooking. Oh my gosh, I just
It
love
really is. But there you have it. Can't eat
If
onions.
you eat lots of garlic during the summer when there's lots of bugs out, mosquitoes will stay away from you. Do
Mhm.
not eat bananas when you're outside because bugs love the banana coming through your pores.
Huh.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
knew?
it's bad stuff. Even though it's great with the potassium, especially if you got achiness and whatnot.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but foods are pretty cool.
Run, go.
She just
Okay.
didn't sit there, did she, Gary?
Wait, Skipper. You're a knowledgeable person. Why is it that everything that you like is not good for you?
Oh, that's just as human beings, we all know that. I mean,
That's
everything
what-
I
that's
absolutely
what they
love
tell us.
is bad for you.
That's what they tell you.
It's the rules.
Oh, if I could have an ice cream sundae the size of a bloody 45-gallon drum, I'd eat. I love ice cream,
Mhm.
especially if you got like
Dive
chocolate
in and
chips
just start
and
your
all
way
the
out.
rest of that stuff.
You just dive right in the middle
Oh,
of it.
yeah, I would love that, but no, I'm not supposed to be
Eat
eating
your
that
way
stuff.
Yes.
I love ice cream. In fact, I've had ice cream parties.
Mm.
My
I
wife
know.
can eat chocolate till it's coming out her ears, and I gain weight sitting next to her.
Remember that mustard ice cream you ate that time, Gary? Wasn't it
Yes.
mustard?
I do. I do remember that that mustard ice cream, Grey Poupon ice cream.
That was
Oh,
kind of creepy.
that's $1.
Yeah, I'll just stick to my Bluebell.
I like
Yeah.
Bluebell too. That's
You want to
that's
try a
nasty
nice
to
ice
say
cream?
Bluebell.
Try garlic.
What?
Garlic ice cream is absolutely delicious.
What?
Skipper, I'm gonna take your word for that.
No, it is. I
I-
actually discovered it. I went to a garlic restaurant, and everything was garlic. So boy, did we stink when we come out of there. The ice cream they had there was phenomenal.
Huh. Now was
I'm
that
glad
in
you're here in the Philippines.
What I really want to try though is bacon ice cream.
Oh,
Now
bacon,
that
come on.
is
Bacon
good.
is good with anything.
Yeah, I bet that
I'll
was
try
good.
it.
Missing 6 feet of it in a
6 feet of intestines.
Hey. Well, apparently the other 150 feet works.
No, in
I don't know what it
Just
works
pulling
for,
numbers
though.
out, y'all.
we did.
No,
I
all
did
the
a
beans he
video
ate blew the rest of the intestine out of him.
for anybody who's interested. I did a video with my mama about Grey Poupon ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was just talking with Devil Dog, and we're gonna try to get Tammy, or not Tammy, Mom and Daddy, Mama hooked up with a laptop where she can come on. I've tried getting her on using her phone and her iPad, but they're both, like Apple products or whatever it is,
Right.
iPhone, and so died for a minute and a half of that operation. Wow, that ain't good.
Mm-mm.
Gary,
Well, yeah.
what animal gives gray poop that you put on ice cream?
Great.
Mustard.
Apparently mustard.
A mustard. I've never heard of a mustard. Is that like a muskrat?
No, it's more like a mustard
must be.
seed.
Woo.
He's from Mississippi. It's really hard to get a joke through to him.
Well,
These from Mississippi, they eat everything.
Hey, y'all should all ask Coyote, how does castor taste?
Castor as in castor oil?
No, it's in straight up castor out of the.
No, I'm not going to ask that. There might be ugly words flying everywhere.
I'm
Well-
not gonna say he did or didn't, but I can tell you, I was standing right there and he almost threw up.
Ew.
Well,
I am afraid I do need to call it. We've been here hour and a half. I am very appreciative of everybody that's come in. It means a lot to me that y'all did to show support. But I've had fun too, and that's really why I do this. And I'm gonna continue to do this just for fun. At some point, it's stupid because I'm working on watch hours, but I got no intention of monetizing this channel.
If
Right.
it monetizes, it monetizes.
Monetize.
Just
Well,
have fun.
Guys,
not only that, but if you get good watch hours, they'll throw your video out there more, so more people will
Well,
come.
For me, it's
hey, Gary,
maybe
this is what I use my YouTube channel for. I only do 98% live streams.
Mhm.
That's it. 98%. I only have 28 actual videos and one short. All my channel is based on live streams.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm monetized. But have I collected a dime from YouTube? No. I
Well,
filed for monetization and everything. I just didn't give them my tax information. So all
Well-
that money just keeps building and building and building.
Mhm.
So
Which-
Social Security
What's
gives
all
you
said and done, it's not
one-time
really a lot.
exemption
no, it's not.
that I can take a check from YouTube.
Mhm.
But I don't make that much every month.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
and I'll never make the limit where they'll cut my check. Nothing. I'll pay tax.
at some point you'll have to give the tax information to collect one anyhow.
Yeah.
He needs a little magic, is what he needs.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got over.
Oh, there it is. There's the magic.
There,
I got-
we'll give him some magic. How's that?
Hey,
Awesome.
Yes.
yeah, you make a good Santa Claus.
I hope so. I am.
He is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
He is Santa.
Santa Claus, North Pole, Canada.
Santa is real.
And he knows if you've been naughty or nice. So
Mhm.
be good for good.
Oh, those guys in the
I like that.
Philippines, I'm telling you, they're getting near the edge.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
That's
Sorry,
the closer
the
they live to
Burma.
Cebu City. Yeah, I know what that city's like.
I used to live there.
Haha! See?
Well, Alexander, I do have one monetized channel, and I do a lot of good things with the money that I make, or try to. But I don't want the. I understand that people want to show support, and that's, in my opinion, what the membership thing is about. If somebody wants to show support, for the stuff that I do, they can join my Belt Loop 29 channel. This channel is mostly just for, messing around and talking with folks, and and so, who knows what'll happen with this channel. And besides, it makes me feel weird when people sending me money anyhow. Somebody sent me a pretty good bit of money yesterday, and I really wasn't. I mean, I knew they were going to send something, but I didn't know they were going to be sending that much money.
Mhm.
you know, my bills are paid with my job.
Mhm.
And I do use some money to try to help some other folks, but I would say spend money on what you enjoy spending money on, save money for the most part, because who knows what the future holds, and you can't ever tell when you're going to have an emergency. So put it aside, and truthfully, I don't. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to monetize this channel, because I really don't want people sending me money.
Mhm.
I figure they need it as much as I do. They need their money as much as I need mine. But
I mean,
if somebody wanted to support, I do
Once
have
you're
a channel where they could.
Mhm.
once you monetize,
Well, and
people are less likely to send you money.
Well, I am monetized on my other channel, and it has made over the course of the last year about not a whole lot, about $1,500, and of course in that time frame I spent about $2,500 giving out to people that I felt like could use a little help.
Mhm.
So it
Guys,
did help me.
Use
It
this
did
channel.
help me send out. Hang on, Michael. It did help me send out more money than I could have otherwise. So I'm thankful for that. And that's this year I'm going to be doing with them. And I'm not giving I'm not giving to people that are in need. I still try to help other folks with stuff that if they have an issue.
Mhm.
My job allows me to do that. But as far as the money from YouTube, I'm basically just giving it back to the people that support the channel.
Mhm.
That just seems right. And so I am having a monthly giveaway where I'm giving away everything the channel brings in, and it's in fact I'll be doing that this Friday. I've got one giveaway for members only. Although I am making one caveat with it. I will be adding whoever the top commenter is in my channel, according to Nightbot, to the list for the drawing.
Mhm.
And so, that way you don't have to be a member of the channel, but, you have to be a pretty good supporter of the channel in order to be in that drawing.
Sure.
So, I don't, it's possible that maybe, this, it's not very likely. Let's face it. Most people that have a monetized channel don't make a whole lot of money. They're not going to pay their bills with this.
Right.
But I mean, and I realize I know Chris over at Square County Homestead says it pays for about 6 bags of chicken feed for him a month or something like that.
Mhm.
And so I'm glad it can help, but I'm not really worried about it. Maybe when I retire, this thing would be to where it makes some kind of a difference. But till then, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'll keep the monetization on the Belt Loop 29, and I'll make. I mean, I don't plan on keeping the money. I may see things differently when I retire, but until then, I'm going to use it to help those individuals that either support this, channel or support my channels.
Mhm.
I've got 5 of them, and I'm. Oh, by the way, did I mention I'm thinking about getting a 24-hour a day goat cam? I'm gonna have one set. I'm gonna set up for my Cute Critters channel. I'm gonna have a 24-hour.
You're going to get me in trouble.
That's going to be great.
Well, I just thought it'd be fun and see some cute goats. Tammy loves the idea, and if it makes her happy, it makes me happy too. So, anyhow, I believe in having fun.
Not trying to bring the subject of mustard back up, but I got to show you this. It's a matter of taste, mustard,
Oh, look in there.
and it's smoked garlic with onion mustard. This stuff right here is addicting.
Actually, it
I
sounds
believe-
really good.
It does
It
sound
sounds like a
good.
game changer right there.
And I've been trying to find it here. I ain't been able to find it, so I may have to make a deal with Coyote. I'll send him hot sauce for his wife if
Mhm.
he'll send me some smoked garlic.
Must.
All right.
You know, doing swaps like this, especially since we have the opportunity, being that we're all over the planet,
Mhm.
to be able to, like, I want someone online does vanilla. I would love some of that vanilla they have. Another one is honey. He's a beekeeper. I would love him to send me some honey.
Mhm.
It's Uncle
Gosh, there's
Jeff.
so much stuff.
Get with Sammy Godwin on the honey. Get with Jesse on Lazy Days Ahead on the
Oh, I've
vanilla.
been trying to get it off of Jesse. It's just I'm never the one he picks.
I know, right?
Hi.
Ain't you the lucky? Ain't you the lucky one, Skipper?
Yeah, I'm looking for Werner's ginger ale if anybody has it down there.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I
Man,
do
oh,
need-
man,
That
so
sounds
good.
like something Mississippi would
Where'd you get that
have.
from Michigan?
Oh,
Yeah,
Werner?
Michigan has got Werner's. Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to shut it down because it's getting pretty close to, me having to head to the bed, and I need to spend a few minutes taking
You
care
need
of
your
a couple-
beauty sleep.
all right,
Oh,
Gary.
well,
Y'all take
There
care.
ain't enough of that.
Everybody. Good
Thanks
night.
for having me up, guys.
Yeah, thank
we're
you.
gonna end now. Y'all welcome to stick around for the after party for a few minutes, but I am gonna shut down the live stream in 3, 2,